Greetings, I'm EpikTek, and this is EpikTek, episode 13. Hey, I've got something special to start this off. I was wandering around down here grabbing some extra things and whatnot, lots of materials and stuffs, and guess what I found down here? It's always nice to find a dungeon, and I want to check it out. If you hear any sounds in the background, those are my friends. Say hi!
Hi! Hello.
Yep, and a few other people. And yeah, check out what I got here. So let's see. We've got ender pearls. Yes, nothing better than ender pearls when you're playing monster free. Also got a couple of foods here that are probably bugged. Let's see. Yep, instantly disappears, but that one's good. That's nice. And some beef Wellington. I think that's bugged too. And a division sigil. That'll come in really handy later. That saves me having to kill a wither to make some stuff. Yeah, that one's invisible as well. Let's see. That one. Yeah, those are both invisible. Let's just get rid of those. Oh no, that was real. Let's just get rid of this guy. Oh, yep. Okay. So let's see. We also got some dark steel. We don't need a bucket. But the safari net might be handy. Yes, it will be. I'm going to carry that around with me. Just throw that in there because I'm running out of space. More foods. I wonder if I have any space in here. No, but I can throw away a couple potatoes. I don't need those, and some carrots. We'll just toss these guys up in here. Put that up there, up there. That's good. That's delicious. Alright, yeah, I'm going to leave that there, and that there, and that there, and, well, that was a nice little find, huh? I've got some plans for those ender pearls. We definitely have some plans right away with those when we get back. So, I'll see you guys back at the base. I just had to show you that, and I'll talk to you later. And we're back. Welcome back. Welcome me back. You welcome me back, I'll welcome you back. We're back. As you'll notice, I've already done some stuff, and I put away everything. I'll show you some of the other stuff I got in a minute. But I moved downstairs, so we've got our kitchen up here, and we got our bed up here, and I got my food up here because it's easier to access, I guess. I don't know. But I moved everything down here, so we've got all of our stuffs right here, and yeah. I like it. It's pretty easy to work down here. Eventually, this whole area is gonna be filled with machines and generators and pipes and all kinds of things, and so we might as well just have it all in one place to begin with. So while I was down there, I found 26 diamond ore. Yeah, that's a little over. After I break it with my Fortune 3 pickaxe, which, by the way, it's now a Fortune 3 pickaxe because I just manually threw some lapis on there to get it right up to Fortune 3. So we're going to get an average. I always do that. Let's grab 4. Should be a decent average. So if my calculations are correct, we should get an average of a little over 2 to 2.5 per ore, which should be close to 10. Let's see how we do on luck. 6. Yeah, that was lame. You never know how the luck's going to go. Anyways, we've also got 41 diamonds here, and I got a ton of lapis while we were down there, which was also very nice. So we're doing pretty well. We're doing pretty well. Yeah, I'm liking this. As a matter of fact, we're doing so well because I also got some yellowite, which is what you need for big reactors. We are going to replace that with a big reactor either this episode or next. I got a couple of things I want to get through, and hopefully those will be, we can do that, hopefully. So I'm going to throw one of the pieces of Ardite we got an episode or two ago. Was it last episode? I don't even remember anymore. I'm going to throw that in there. We're going to melt that down, and oh, quick, turn that off. And we're going to go ahead and do the second to last upgrade for our pick ever. So Ardite is what you need for cobalt, to mine cobalt. And then once we've got Ardite and cobalt, then we don't have to make a cobalt pick. We can actually jump straight past that. We'll combine the Ardite and cobalt, make manolin. I'll explain it all when we do it. But we're currently at, what do we got? Alamite. In just a second here, there we go. Molten Ardite. Go ahead and, oh, I don't have faucets on these. Huh. Well, as it turns out, I've got 3 more right there. Eventually I'll make 3 more and put it over there. I always like to have one that's automated and one that's manual. I just find it handy. Sometimes you just want to make one thing. Alright, so let's go over here. Throw our pick up there. Throw our Ardite pickaxe head up there. You'll notice that this is the kind of the comparison here. We're going from durability 1606 to 1695. That's not all that impressive. But things like speed and everything's getting a little bit of an upgrade. And then the really important part is their mining level of cobalt. So let's do that. And I'll go get some cobalt later. I won't make you watch me wander the nether again. Okay, so then the other thing I promised was that we would make a sword maker. And I fiddled around. I went into a test world and I made a sword maker using the table, the Steve's workshop table, production table there. And it was okay. I think this time, I like it. It's actually better in a lot of ways than a lot of other things. But I think this time we're going to do Steve's Factory Manager because honestly, Steve's Factory Manager is a whole lot more flexible and it's actually a little bit cheaper to do in this case. So I want to do that really quick. Steve's Factory Manager right here. This is the Machine Inventory Manager. It's going to be just this easy. Should be a piston, some iron, stone. Okay, we can do all that without much of a problem. The first time I saw the Steve's Inventory Manager, I thought it was pretty cheaty. And then I started thinking about it, and I went, you know, it's not cheaty. It's just automation. It's doing the same thing that you could do by hand. It's just doing it for you. That's all. Right? You know, I mean, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I need a chest as well. It's almost like I had that stuff ready to go. All right. So, luckily, this is a fairly simple program here. The one disadvantage is that you do kind of have to tell the Steve's Inventory Manager what to do, and that process is a little, I'm not going to say complicated, but complicated. It's not so bad. Yeah, it's a little overwhelming at first, but it's not so bad. I'm going to do this one time. And we have an add-in that adds a few other things. If you've used Steve's Inventory Manager before, you'll notice that there's a few extra things in here. These, I haven't played with these myself, but we'll probably play them at some point in time. They come from an add-on. All right, we're going to create a trigger. This trigger is it basically says when something's going to happen. And right now it defaults to once a second. Okay, so once a second, it's going to do something. And you can say, well, how about when a redstone something happens, or when a block nearby is updated, or I don't know what this means. Delayed trigger. Set the delay in seconds, ticks before the trigger fires, minimum 5 ticks. I don't know what that means. That's something added by that mod, I assume, because I've never seen it before. Anyway, once a second, this trigger is going to do something. So here we're going to tell it that we want to input. Okay, so we're going to, in this case, we're going to grab something from an inventory, like this chest. And this is which side of the chest it's going to grab from. This is really handy because you can have multiple things accessing one side of a chest or whatnot. Yeah, I'm not going to go into too many details on that. And then the whitelist or blacklist, an empty blacklist means it'll just grab everything. If I say whitelist, then I choose what I want it to grab. If I choose blacklist, then I'm going to choose what I don't want it to grab. And in this case, we want it to grab cobble. And we're going to have to add some cobble in there. And I just clicked on a question mark and then type in what I want. So I'm going to type in stick. And then you can tell it exactly how many. So I can right click. I can say specify amount. And we need 2 pieces of cobble. And then hit the little X here. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to say 1 stick. Okay. And then create auto crafter. Okay. And I'm going to say crafting. I want cobble, cobble, and then stick makes a stone sword. We have to, I've never even understood this. Move before crafting, craft before moving. It seems to work either way. And then excess inventories. If for some reason there was something extra left over, put it back in the chest, but there won't be, so it's not a problem. And then we're going to create an output like this. We're going to say inventory table, and eventually I'm going to actually switch that up. We're not going to use the table anymore, and I'm just going to go ahead and say whitelist stone sword. Okay, and that's it. Now I basically just go through and connect all these guys together. Once a second, it's going to grab from the chest, create a sword, and put it in the table. Now it can only put one stone sword at a time in this table, or in a few moments, I'm just going to go ahead and do this, and throw these items over there, and we'll go really quickly grab a sword stand. And just grab a few stacks of cobble there. And for now, we're going to go ahead and just grab a ton of sticks. That's probably more cobble than I need. That's okay. And we need, what was it? Stone? No, sorry. Sword. There we go. So this is a sword pedestal, which is simply 3 stone slabs and wool. Well, that should be easy. You just need some stone slabs. Like that. And we don't need that recipe anymore. And a piece of wool. I think I've got something in here. Right? Somewhere? Blocks of coal. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Wool. And we'll just use white. We don't really care what it looks like, right? Oh. And it's getting dark. I'm just going to sleep real quick. We'll go set this thing up. We're going to have to reassign the sword pedestal real quick. Because as soon as you remove the item there, see how it has this exclamation point and it says, no inventory selected. Okay, so I'm going to say sword pedestal. So now every second, it's attempting to create a sword and put it in there, but it can't because it doesn't actually have the stuff necessary. Now I'm going to move just a little bit this way. Let's see if we can... Yeah, so watch really carefully down there because as soon as I put this stick there, it's going to instantly create a sword. And now this thing can start running again, and whenever this sword is used up, then it will create another one and put it there. Well, sorry about the abrupt cut there. I hit a bad button, and I actually ended up muting myself and then going on and talking and doing a bunch of work, and not realizing that I hadn't recorded any sound for quite a while. And then when I went to edit it together, it was missing all of my voiceover. Okay, that was terrifying. I hate standing near this thing. So this is going to be a little bit weird, but I've already made a big reactor. And this is kind of, I'm right now is after the next segment I'm going to show you. So it's going to be a little odd. Pretend this isn't here, because I'm going to show you how I made that, and then I'm going to go back to building it. Yeah, I know. It's a little odd. So let me show you a couple of things really quick. And luckily, most of what was lost, it was just boring crafting. I'm just going to show you the crafting recipes and not make you watch me craft them instead this time. So it'll actually be a little bit quicker than... You were spared. You were spared by my mistake. So first of all, Yellowite is one of the things you need, and of course I don't have any of this stuff left because I used it all in making this. This is Yellorium. These are Yellorium ingots. You take Yellowite and you throw it into, you can either just cook it up directly, or just like any other ore, you can chop it down with our sag mill that was over there a few moments ago, and then cook up the dust. And then I just went ahead and cooked it in this furnace right here. Oh, which, by the way, I also mentioned during that segment that I installed a solar generator, which is, this is the recipe for the solar generator. It's iron ingots, of course our blank upgrade, glass, and a piece of glowstone. And the only other caveat with that is that it has to have a view of the sky, and it has to be daytime. But as long as it has a view of the sky and it's daytime, it'll just generate power right here, and you don't have to feed it coal anymore. Now I've got a block of coal there just in case, and then also so I don't accidentally put things in there, because if I were to, like, you know, be crafting something with a chest and accidentally shift click, it might actually end up burning up the chest, and having that block of coal there keeps it from happening. Anyway, so the pieces of the reactor that we need are a reactor casing, a reactor controller, a control rod, a power tap, and an access port. And since it's already here, I'm going to show you where they go. I'm going to do this kind of backward. I'm going to show you where they go in this, and then you're going to see me put them there, which is going to be a little odd. This is our reactor controller, and this is a piece of reactor glass, which you'll also see me make in the next segment. This is the power tap. This is where power is going to come out. This is the access port, and then inside this guy is a Yellorium fuel rod, and this is a reactor control reactor control rod there. So we're going to put that back together. It's going to feel really weird, guys. It'll work out. It'll be fine. So the recipes for these things are: the reactor casings are iron and graphite bars and Yellorium ingots. I just told you how to make a Yellorium ingot. A graphite bar is super simple. It is literally just coal or charcoal smelted. That's it. You just cook up coal or charcoal, and you end up with a graphite bar. Ta-da! That simple. The control rod, or the reactor controller, is 4 of those reactor casings, 1 diamond, 1 redstone, a couple of Yellorium ingots. The reactor access port, which is where you put your fuel in, requires a chest and a piston. Let's see. And where is it? There it is. The reactor power tap is 4 casings, 4 redstone. And then the last item, which actually you'll see me make in the next segment, is right there. The reactor control rod, same general principle. And then this is the Yellorium fuel rod. So you can see it's actually reasonably cheap to make one of these guys. It's a decent amount of iron and coal and 1 diamond and some redstone, and you can make yourself one of these guys. All right, so now I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to let you watch me right after what I had just said, that I was going to find the center of the room, so that I would know where to put that hole up there. And it doesn't need a hole above it, but eventually we're going to expand this, and we're going to go up higher there. By the next episode, I'll probably have filled that in, and then we'll cut it back out again when we make this bigger, but that's all. Yeah, so there you go. Now you can watch me jump backward in time and build this thing. Thanks for joining me, guys. Okay, I got it figured out. It's not exactly center because this is an even-sized room, so there is no center. But this is close enough, and it actually works both up top and below. So up here, it's going to kind of be between these two pillars. And down here, it's kind of center-ish. Let's go with center-ish. So, yeah. So let's put it here. I like it here. Eventually, right away, it's not going to go this tall. But eventually, I want it to actually go, like, maybe not that tall, but it'll be tall. It'll be big. Okay, I'm not going to make it like that. I'm just kind of getting... Yeah. All right. And they used to have a bug where you shouldn't do this. And now it's okay. Because they fixed it. It used to actually, like, destroy things and bad things. And it's getting to night again. And I don't like the moon. Okay, it's not the moon. It's just the darkness. Ah, there we go. Okay. So we're going to lay this out, and this is going to be the smallest reactor one can possibly make. It is a 3 by 3 by 3. The outsides, yeah, I'm going to need more of those. Okay. The outsides of the reactor have to be made from reactor casing. But any one of these center pieces, so this piece, like this very center piece on the bottom, or this hole, or right here, or the center on the top, can be other things. However, there's a couple of other rules. No, I don't want to sleep. The center has to have Yellorium fuel rods extending from the bottom all the way to the top, which would be 1 square. And then above the Yellorium fuel rods have to be reactor control rods. So if this was a bigger reactor, that control rod might be, 10 squares off the top, and then there would have to be 9 Yellorium fuel rods below it, going all the way to the bottom. Does that make sense? I don't know that I'm describing this very well, but once we make a bigger one, we'll spend some more time thinking about that. Also, there has to be a controller. There has to be a power tap. Well, there doesn't have to be a power tap, but trust me, you want a power tap. Otherwise, where are you going to get your power from? And then you're going to want a access port, which allows you to actually put fuel in the thing. Again, not technically required, but kind of useless without it. And we need, let's see, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And of course, I don't remember the recipe again. Now I do. So we're going to need like this, and like this, and we're going to need 2 more stacks, which will leave us with a couple of extra, but that's okay. Like this, this, oh, and that. And if the textures change like that, then you know that you've done it correctly. If, however, something has gone wrong and you've done something backward, like, for example, if you've put a controller on a side, then it won't do anything. But if you right-click anywhere on the casing, it'll tell you. It'll say, only casing may be used as part of a reactor's frame. Ah! Apparently I don't know why it's doing it twice. So, yeah, you can't do the controller there. There's also one nice little thing. Now, we've got 1 space unused on this guy right here. I'm going to do something. I'm going to make an upgrade of sorts. It's not a big upgrade, but it's something. This right here is reactor glass, and it cannot be used as part of the frame, but it can be used in any of the sides. I think I'm going to put it here because I want it to be pretty. And we're going to put the controller there and 1 more piece of casing, and it allows you to look inside and see what's going on in the middle. Now, that's awfully boring with a single piece there, but once this gets bigger, it's going to be nice to have glass to look inside, and it can look really pretty. So we're going to grab a little bit of Eulorium, like all of it, and we're going to go around to this side, go to the access port and click, and you notice 4 pieces went in directly, and then the other 36 are sitting there waiting to be inserted as soon as it has used them up. So, and then now you can see that there's actually stuff in there. Now, this interface looks scary, but honestly, especially at the lower levels, it's not. It's not a big deal. There's lots of stuff you can do to make this more efficient and all that kind of thing. But on a 1x1x1, or 3x3, with the internals being just a single square, there's nothing you can do. This is the only way to make it. As they get bigger, you can start doing things with coolants and reactants and yada, 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 yada. And it's actually a lot of fun to play with. Let's turn this puppy on. Now remember, our old survivalist generator was pumping out, what was it, 5 RF per tick, right? Here we go. How's 264 grab you? 265 RF per tick? Yeah. I love these things. 264 kind of moves around. As it turns out, the 1x1x1 internals is actually fairly efficient, and it's using 0.028 millibuckets. Each millibucket is one each bucket is each ingot is 1,000 millibuckets. So you can see we have 4,000 millibuckets in there, and it's using 0.028 of that per tick. We've only used 30 out of 1,000. You know, it just very... Long story short, we're going to last a long time on a single piece of Eulorium. So I'm going to turn this off for now because we don't have anything hooked up to it. And once this fills, it will continue to waste Eulorium, but it'll just waste the energy. It doesn't turn off when it maxes out. There's a way to work with that. There we go. And look, now we're down past 5 RF per tick. It's based on heat, so even when you turn it off, it's still hot, and it won't be using any more fuel, but it will continue to create RF. Okay. So, yeah, so here's our reactor power tap, and we're going to need to find a way to hook this up to all of our machines. I've got a few ideas. But they're going to have to wait till next time, because we are way out of time. That's right. It is the end of the episode, so come back for episode 14, and we'll start using this thing. Sound like fun? Awesome. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you later.